I was walking down the shoulder and I think I spotted someone that I recognized in junior high. I said, how are you, sir? Was your name Caleb or was your name Clayton? I know you were twins, but I don't know which one was which. Yeah. We dive off from the weather-beaten stones of summer. Down, down we go, simply because we love the fall. Crisp, cool Friday night air as we record, and I couldn't be happier. And we are using our indoor voices, our NPR donation drive voices, if you will, because the baby is sleeping. With the muffler Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. This is my intro. Welcome to Squared Circle Cinema. Ryan, how am I doing today, buddy?
It's okay. He can't hear us.
Oh, the baby's... Are you sure?
Yeah. You can speak
Is he
louder.
out cold?
He's far away from where we are right now.
Okay, look, I just didn't want to wake him up. He's a 1-year-old now, you know? He's going to get all moody and stuff. Be like, Mike, shut up!
He's a pretty heavy sleeper.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're at a good...
When he's out, he's out. I mean, I brought him in here, made all this noise.
You didn't. We were quiet.
Took him out of his car seat. Took him all the way back to the back.
Yeah.
Put him in his crib.
Okay.
He stayed. I've changed his diaper.
Whoa.
And he's slept through the whole thing.
Okay, but we're talking at a reasonable level right now, right? But when I get animated, I yell, and it's out of my control. It's something I always try to say, why do I yell so much? I sound like an idiot. I get loud, right? But I don't think I will tonight because it's a Friday night as record, as I said earlier. And, boy, long-ass day.
Woo!
How are you? You look you got energy. You just had some caffeine recently?
My last bit of caffeine intake was...
Did you hear that?
Circa...
Oh, it was the door. I thought I heard crying. I was like, see, I told you.
Circa 1,800 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
6 o'clock for the lay people.
6 a.m., yeah. So I'm about 8:30.
6 p.m.
Oh. Wait. What?
1,800.
Oh,
6
I thought you were
p.m.
saying since 1,800 hours. I was like, whoa. How did you have a bowel movement this morning, you know?
I was speaking in military time.
Oh, man. Okay, 1,800 hours. All right, what's 1,400 hours? Do it quick, like you have them
2
all memorized.
o'clock.
All right, fine. What's 1,500 hours?
3
Like you have it all
o'clock.
memorized. All right, fine. What's 1,600 hours then if you got it all memorized? I'll keep going. I'm having fun with this. All right, fine. 1,700.
It's 5.
So what'd you guys do for Owen's birthday? He turned 1 yesterday.
We
man.
went to Disneyland.
That's so cool.
I
That
spent-
just made me exponentially more tired. Just that word.
I spent $147 on a park hopper ticket.
Yeah.
$147.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous. What are the annual passes going for these days?
Like $5.99.
Oh, unbelievable. Like, what are the... That's like 147 is the year pass at like Universal. That's like the year pass at Six Flags. You know?
Yeah.
That's comparable probably with the Knott's Berry Farm. Year-long. Come whenever you want. Yeah, we have like 4 blackout dates. You think Knott's Berry Farm has nearly as many blackout dates as
Remember when
Disneyland? Like, you just go whenever you want.
Six Flags had a buy admission, get a year for free.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Days are long gone. I remember ads were at Disneyland. If you were a Southern California resident, you can get in for $22. Remember that in the late 90s? You just go to Ralph's, say you're a California, get a receipt or something from a local Ralph's or Vons. Yeah. $22. 100. I thought you were going to say like, oh, I spent $147 at Disneyland. I was like, oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But
I spent $147 to get into that shit, and then I spent way more money after that.
Yeah, so there's no, like, how long had you worked there, you know?
9 years.
So was there any window after you?
You're out.
Really? So
You're
there's
dead
like
to
no
them.
pension? Like there's no pension for getting in for free?
No.
Just the year you're done?
You could know somebody that still works.
Yeah, there
to
you go.
get
And they
in,
can bring
but-
someone else in.
But I don't really think I know anybody.
God, it's been a
Nobody
long
that I
time
would be
since I worked
comfortable
there.
enough to ask to sign me in. Like it's a whole process. Like they
Oh,
have
and
to
I've
go
seen
meet
the other
you.
I've seen the other side of that. Like
Yeah.
I've seen, you know, the person that was requested, "Hey, can you let us in?" And she was just like, I hate them. I hate them. I have to drive all the way to Anaheim from all this crap.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't seem like
Yeah.
a big burden, but
It
it's kind of a
is.
huge burden for them.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not, I mean, chances are they're not going to be working that day. Going to drive their ass just to let this fucking bitch and her family in, or bastard. So what'd you go? What do you do on a child's
So I went there.
first
I'm like,
birthday?
well, okay, if I'm paying for this, I'm gonna take this kid on every single ride that he's allowed to go on.
Nice, like that. Yeah, you were vengeful. You're like, this
Yeah.
is like,
And then so we go
I'm
like,
gonna have
let's
fun just to spite Disneyland.
beeline to Fantasyland. Grabbed a corn dog on the way.
Hell yeah! All right, did you
Scarf
already
down the
know
corn
that
dog.
coming in, or did you get the map and say, what do I feel like going
Map.
towards? I know, I
I know
know.
this park by the back of my hand.
I know you do, but don't you like opening the map for the visuals of it and like which land do I want to
No.
explore today? You're just like, boom, Adventureland.
The map is in my brain.
What are your favorite lands?
My favorite land,
Or if you could rank them.
man, New Orleans Square.
Oh, that's like Main Street when you walk
No.
in. Oh, sorry.
That's Main Street. New Orleans Square is where
Well, that's my favorite.
Haunted Mansion and
Oh yeah,
Pirates
of
of
course.
the Caribbean is.
I just forgot that was the name of it. Has it always been called that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. The same the decor
Yeah.
of Louisiana, the exteriors.
Well, most of the rides you can
Craftsmanship.
go on are housed in Fantasyland, the kiddie rides. So made a beeline there.
Mm-hmm.
Got a fast pass to Peter Pan's flight, which I'm like, oh, he's gonna love this.
That's smart.
Flying
So
over
that's why you went to.
beautiful London town.
That's why you went there first.
And so
Like,
while we
we're gonna
waited
hit
for
the
that,
most
we're
amount
like,
of,
okay,
Yeah.
Snow White's scary adventure.
What?
Take this kid on there.
What the hell is that? I've never even heard of that.
It's like one of the oldest attractions in the park.
Look, man,
It's-
I haven't been to Disneyland. Okay, I went once, and it was basically just California Adventure and Main Street. And I went once last year, and I hadn't been before then since 1996.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, went on White.
Wow.
By the end of it, he starts crying. It was
Aw.
a traumatic experience for him to see this wicked witch and all these scary trees and scary
Oh,
dark
man.
music.
How long into it was he crying? So he was really engaged with it?
Like
and
we were holding steady for about a minute,
Yeah.
and then he started crying. And they were like, "Oh, well, let's make our way to Pinocchio."
Yeah.
He holds steady through the little carnival scene, and then it gets scary after that.
Oh, wow.
And then he starts crying again. Now it's time for us to get on Peter Pan,
Oh, boy.
and
You got that
just
giant...
getting on the car on the pirate
you got
ship.
the giant whale. It's going to eat him.
No, that's on Pinocchio. He already saw the giant whale. Peter Pan is like nice.
Can I get anything right?
There's nothing scary about Peter
Okay,
Pan, really.
all right.
It's dark inside, but
Well, that's scary.
you're just you're taking a whimsical flight.
So he's too young
over-
for Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
No, he's not. He can actually go on that, but I didn't even
'Cause
bother.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah, I used to be scared of that when I was little. So just loading onto the car, he's already upset. He's like, I'm already traumatized
Wow.
from these two ride experiences, and now you're doing this to me again?
Wow.
And so we're just flying over, and I shit you not, he is like grabbing on to me for dear life, and he's putting his arm over his eyes because he's like, I don't want to see any of this.
Wow.
This is traumatic. I want this to be done.
Did you say like,
And
stop
he-
the ride? We got to
No,
get
you
out
just
of
gotta,
You have to
gotta
commit
ride
it
out.
at that point.
And he's just crying, like he's crying in a weird way, like I'd never heard him cry before. He was going like,
Wow.
"Aja! Aja!"
He's freaking out, man.
Yeah, and
Wow.
so
You're
after
like, "That's
that,
it."
we got on Dumbo. He liked Dumbo.
Okay,
It's
that's
outside. And then he took a nap.
So was it because, what do you think it was that really bothered him? Like the amount of people? Like how
The
often
darkness.
does he?
The
How often
darkness.
does he wait in lines like that?
No, he didn't have to wait in line because we go
Okay.
with Joe,
Oh
our
yeah,
special
okay.
needs nephew, and we get to bypass the line.
But how often do you see like a bunch of people doing
He
one
sees
thing
it all the time
together?
because he goes with my wife, who has an annual pass, and he's been to Disneyland like 5 times this year already.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, so he was bothered by
The
the
rides.
actual ride.
Yeah,
the
he
content
was
of the
scared
ride.
of the ride. He's
Wow.
fine outside of the ride.
Because it was just wicked and scary
And dark and scary and
loud
dark scary music.
Oh, poor guy.
But he took a nap. We made our way over to California Adventure, and then we're like, okay, let's try
I'm
The
sorry.
Little Mermaid.
You're that third ride, like, not again.
Yeah.
You're doing this to me again.
Yeah,
That's
he
like,
was
oh, man.
traumatized.
It's like,
It
kid,
was
why didn't you
sad.
do this in the line? We would have walked.
We didn't have to wait in line.
Okay.
We just walked straight on.
So that's what, the first hour.
Yeah, and
Free
then
rides, that's
went
an
on Dumbo, took a nap. We ate some food. He kind of chilled out after that.
Dumbo's
and so
a
we're
great
like,
ride.
okay,
Dumbo's a great ride.
let's take
I
him on
remember
the
that
Little
one.
Mermaid ride in California Adventure. Hop
Which
on
he-
that. He loves it. He's like,
Wow.
wow, look at all these colorful fish.
Oh, cool.
This is beautiful. I love this experience. It's not scary at all.
Yeah.
So we're getting out, and this ride is kind of like the Haunted Mansion, where the cars don't stop. Like,
Oh, yeah, you
you're
gotta
going
hop off.
parallel
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like a moving walkway.
I
You
got
just got to hop off.
Kingdom of the Dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's always
At Knott's
moving
Berry Farm.
ride.
Yeah.
And so I'm holding him in my left arm, and I'm scooting out, and I need to kind of boost myself up to get out. I grab the lap bar to help myself up, and it's not totally stationary. I pull the lap bar right into his face, bonk him right on his eye. He's got a visible bump. I'm like, I just gave my son
On his
a
first-
black eye on his
Wow.
birthday. I'm a piece of shit.
That's not your fault.
It should have been stationary.
That's not your fault.
Yeah.
What else were you going to grab
Besides that, yeah.
besides that? So that was you could sue
I should
Disneyland.
sue them.
You could. I mean, that's like a faulty.
The ride attendant was like, "Is he going to be okay?
'Cause he's
Is he going to
freaking
be?
out.
We have first aid.
You turn
we
around.
have a first aid station.
You turn around. Everybody behind you in that canoe or whatever they call it are grabbing onto that damn thing to get up. That is not your fault. But that's kind of funny that it happened. Oh, it's just above his eye.
Yeah.
Big deal.
I
So
mean,
he
he-
wasn't concussed or anything.
He got it over it pretty quick. You can't even see it today.
No, he's
Yeah,
fine.
you don't see it. Yeah, and then we went on the Toy Story ride. He
You
liked
didn't
that.
like beat yourself up too much, right? Where you're
I
like,
did. I felt pretty bad about it. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm a piece.
It's not your fault.
Because I
man.
had like 2 beers before that.
Oh, who
too.
cares?
I was like, oh,
Wouldn't.
man. A
I'm
piece
the
of,
worst
I'm
father.
a piece of
I
shit.
take him on the Snow White
Yeah.
ride. And he freaks out.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my experience.
All right. Well, that sounds like it was a great day, man.
Well, you might as well go to Disneyland because the Browns won.
Oh my God, that was magic.
Baker.
If Hugh
Baker
Jackson
Mania.
starts to Rod Taylor,
Did
week
you
4,
see?
he will be.
Did you see the post
murdered?
game interview where he's like, "Well, we gotta look at
he
the tape.
didn't definitively.
You gotta look
say-
at the tape. You
need-
piece of shit."
He's already blown it.
He should have been fired just for saying
Already
that.
blown it. He should have said rallying the troops and keep the magic. The third and fourth quarters of that game was magic, absolute magic. I'm sorry, call whatever you want, but it just, you could tell there was an energy amongst everyone. Landry wasn't dropping S8. You know what? Screw this. I got a quarter to spare. Landry wasn't dropping shit. And he was just, everything was connecting. He fumbled. Offensive lineman picks it up, runs for 9 goddamn yards. And then I was still, after the 2-minute warning, or approaching the 2-minute warning, Jets had 3 timeouts. They had the ball at
Yeah.
2-0. And the 2-minute warning, I was like, yeah, they're going to lose. Like, I thought for sure. Here we go again. This is what the Browns do. And the magic of Mayfield, man.
Oh, to be 1-1-1.
1-1-1. The first win since December 2016 or something like that.
I would just fire Hugh Jackson now. Just do it
Hard
now.
Knocks really exposed
Let's
him.
just get rid of him.
Yeah.
I'm
and
sure we could
kind of
find
the whole
somebody.
coaching staff there. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you said the defensive lineman coach was your spirit animal, but
He's a O-line.
oh yeah, sorry. The defensive line coach, that's
He's kind of an idiot.
That's
though.
Captain Kangaroo.
I mean, in a way, he's kind of my...
He's been fired multiple times
Yeah.
from multiple teams.
Yeah.
I think he did something like quite controversial with the Cowboys. I don't know what it was.
Really?
Yeah. I just overheard that.
I'd
So
have
maybe
to look
I shouldn't have
into it.
mentioned that. Maybe I should have known that already. But I like to keep all you guessing.
You were bothering me about your wardrobe issues today.
Oh,
What's up with that?
Well, we're going to a wedding soon, and my dress shirts are limited. Well, okay, they're not limited. My long sleeve dress shirts that you tuck in are limited. I have white and I have blue, and I have this vintage kind of 70s one that's a little bit too big, so I don't think I'm going to wear that.
You have a vintage
Because
dress shirt?
because this is what all of my really nice long sleeve shirts, wearing them at work, right? And I've had them hemmed by my sister so they look like the untuckets, which are just, because fat people don't like tucking in their shirts.
What does it feel? How does it feel to have your own personal seamstress at your beck and call?
Oh, it's awesome.
Your sister is like sewing everything for
It's
you.
unbelievable. She forgot my last work shirt, and I was like, Lee. So I didn't know what to say, but she had the shirt for like a month and a half. She's like, you go to hell, man. Lee, just wondering if you got a chance to. Oh yeah, I marked
to
it.
do your fucking job.
Nah. I kind of said that because I was like, no, I pinned them, so they're all measured. Oh, you pinned them, because I kind of remember pinning them for you the day I gave them to you a month and a half ago. You know what it is though? She has my Netflix account,
So it's
so
a fair
I think
trade.
and I don't abuse it. She's done this, 3 times.
I mean, she made you some custom,
But,
custom wrestling outfit.
And that was, but I bought all the materials, of course, and I offered. I was like, "Let me pay you." She created the most amazing wrestling gear, which
You could be a real wrestler in that gear. I mean, your balls might fall out of your trunks,
yeah,
but you could actually
no,
wrestle
they're
a match
contained in
those
my
gear.
youth large cup, jockstrap. Yeah, God, and I still those boots. They're in the closet in her old bedroom in my mom's house. Every time I go over there, I check them out.
You've
Just
got like
glossy and-
a perfect Halloween costume. Like anytime you're invited to
I
a
should wear that for
Halloween
Halloween.
party,
yeah.
like if you get invited to like a cool Halloween party,
Yeah, that costume,
you
that
could
wrestling
wear that,
gear
and people
deserves to be seen
give
more.
you compliments.
Yeah.
For sure.
I could probably bedazzle up the vest a little bit because I thought of the vest like the day before we started shooting.
Put
Sunday
some
Night
rhi-
Wars, check it out on YouTube.
Put some rhinestones on
Put something
it.
on it because I kind of the entrance gear I just kind of phoned in a little bit. The hat's cool. Boots are great. Knee pads, those need work as well. So we might do a 2.0 version on this. But here's the thing, like Lee loves that. Like she loves doing it. So it was really fun going to Joanne with her like once a week and like what materials do you want? Oh, I need this kind of gold spandex, blah blah blah. And she had the item numbers and all that, and we went shopping together and stuff. God, that was like probably the best week of my life.
Just going to Joann's.
Super excited, going to Joanne's, hanging out with my niece and my sister, getting like excited about filming with my buddies the next weekend. My buddy's wife's gonna be there, and she's gonna be in it, and yeah, that was a good short, man. Sound sucks, and that's my fault.
Sound.
That's my fault, but we did it.
It
Okay?
was a sound effort.
Don't wake the baby. Don't be so funny, because I'll wake the baby with my loud laughter.
Well, you were saying that you wanted to wear blue pants.
Oh yeah,
A white shirt.
Jesus Christ, what a
A
tangent.
red tie. and a brown blazer.
No, I had asked your wife, and I put it on a thread. And my intention was just to include you, because I thought you would have good advice as well. And I mistakenly did our band thread with Chris, right? So Chris is involved in this. And I was like, oh, crap. Chris, I do not want your opinion on this.
Like,
so I sent...
Where's your suit?
Sent your wife. Yeah. I was
Where's
like,
your
yep,
suit?
that's how Chris would respond. And I didn't notice, I didn't even engage with that. All right? I was like, no, you're not supposed to be here. So I asked your wife, okay, because I have black blazer. That's from your wedding. And it's a little, it definitely needs to be dry cleaned, to say the least. And just fits me nicely. So I'd like to wear that. Can't find any of my black dress pants, like the really nice pleated ones I had. But I do have a really nice pair of dark blue pants. So I text Cassie and you if those go together or clash. And I even had like my wallet there as a black, color comparison to the blue. Because I thought it was dark enough to work and with a white shirt and a red tie. And apparently that's not considered fashionable.
You would just look like Donald Trump or something.
Okay, it's not a bright... You've seen my kangaroo Australia tie. I wore it to Jimmy's wedding. It's like it's more of a burgundy. I'd say it's not
That
like
was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
How am I supposed to remember what you wore?
I don't. All I remember is that the
Chris and Steve rolled up with like some goddamn 40s, like a couple of hobos.
All I remember about that wedding is somehow that tie got dipped in the toilet a little bit when I was pissing, and I have no idea. Like I was probably
what the hell are you doing?
I don't. I was like untying it or something, but just
vomiting.
No, because that's how you
taking a dump.
Oh no, it was when I was bending down to lift the lid, and it went bleak. I was like, oh my god, and I was like washing it frantically for like 5 minutes. So
do you know what I did?
All sweat.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me. Okay. Yesterday, I'm in my class, and there was a bathroom break, and I go to the bathroom, have gum in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I do my business. I wash my hands. I dry my hands. It was number one.
Number one.
And I keep the towel to open the door, and then throw in the trash can, trying to be hygienic.
I do that.
But I'm like, oh, I need to get rid of my gum. And so the same towel I used to touch the door, the disgusting door handle, without thinking, I put it to my lips.
Oh, my God.
And my tongue touches it, and I take the gum out of my mouth and throw it in the trash. And I'm like, did I just do that?
Where's the Purell aisle? Because I'm going to take a shot of that.
Yeah. I might as well have just opened that door with my mouth.
Oh, now I have hepatitis. Great.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry, Cassie.
I would never do that. I don't think.
It was
in that moment. I would like. I would
just
say,
wasn't
okay,
thinking.
Hold on to the gum. Hold on to the gum.
I
You're in no position.
Wasn't thinking.
Wow.
Yeah. It was my lizard brain.
Yeah, because all of a sudden you're just going through the motions, and I do it all the time, like at work, where you're just on autopilot.
It's like when you're driving and you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's like the first impulse, open door. Well, that's not an impulse. Spitting out gum is an impulse. Your brain reacts to, you no longer want to chew this.
You don't want this.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, put it in the
It's a forceful action. You spit it out.
That's in your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
That just touched that disgusting door handle.
But your motivation was to spit out the gum. So what's the most convenient way to spit out the gum? Into paper. That is... Okay, what part of the door handle were you pushing against with the paper?
It was I put
it was
the
on
whole
the lock
thing on my hand. It was a handle that you have to turn.
Oh, boy. You were right in there.
Yeah.
You were in the crevices of that door.
Yeah.
You got it.
So my tongue and lips... basically touched a bunch of people's like dicks and assholes.
And then it becomes like a psychological thing where you feel like a tingling sensation.
I can feel it right now.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about
There's something growing.
You're fine. It was airborne. Nothing's going to happen. But you know who's got it like made in the shade now, which always kind of pissed me off? back in the day was Target always had, they never had the paper towels, just always the blow drying, and they always had the pulling in door. So you had to go, you had no
yeah,
guy,
they're just
you had
like,
no
deal
shield.
with it.
Yeah, and now all the Targets
Deal
you
with
notice,
it, people.
wide open, no doors.
Really?
No doors. If you go into a recently renovated Target, circa the last 5
I never
years,
go to the bathroom at Target. I don't know why. I'm more inclined to go, like, I don't have to
I
go
know
to the
why.
bathroom when I'm in Target, but if I'm in the grocery store, I immediately have
Really?
to take a shit.
I know why you don't, because how far is your, like, I usually, there's no convenient Targets around me, kind of, but not really. So I usually time my Target sessions when I'm heading down to Orange County. So I always got to pee by the time I get there. You know, so I use the Target, and they're always clean. I know that because I used to clean them, and I did a great job.
You got robbed at Target.
I got robbed at Target. Yeah. Orange
Tell
Target.
that story.
Target. Okay. Do I have to, man?
Yeah,
This was
relive your trauma.
2001.
9/11,
Yeah,
pre 9/11
this
or
is-
post
This is
9/11?
post 9/11.
Oh wow, the country had changed.
Yeah.
People were desperate. It really affected the economy, man.
Yeah.
That guy must have been
But you
desperate.
think, I always thought like security improved after 9/11. No, it didn't
guess
at the
not.
lawn and garden department in
Yeah.
Target in Orange on Meats and Tustin.
They were like,
Because
if we're
I
safe
was all alone
anywhere,
out there.
it's at the garden department and Target.
They don't have those anymore. You don't see garden departments anywhere, right? When was the last
Yeah, come to
lawn and
think of
garden
it.
you saw in a Target? And
Not at my local
it's
Target.
just this like add-on gate with grass or with peonies and, you know, tulips and shit. No one ever goes in there, and it's manned by one person, no security.
By Mike.
And I was manning it, just all alone out there in the wild, wild west, surrounded by peonies. And this dude, they later called him the Cactus Bandit because he would purchase cactuses, but he didn't at the Orange Target on Tustin and Meats. He purchased an Aquafina, and I was pretty new then. So I started in August of 2011. So this is literally, 2001. So this is literally right around 9/11 because I didn't know how to work the cash register all that well. So I must have just started there. I rung up the Aquafina, and when you ring up water, it's got that little deposit thing, right? Like 0.2 cents. And I just saw that, never seen it before. It's like 0.2 cents? That can't be right. So I just kept deleting it, scanning it again. It still says 0.2 cents. Cancel, scan it again. This guy waiting to draw a firearm on me is just like, okay, here we go. Oh, fuck, okay. Bleep. Okay, here we go. Okay. Because I'm scanning the damn thing like 6 times.
He's waiting for you to open the
He's
register.
waiting for me to scan it, hit, you know, the green button. The cash register opens,
like,
and
why
then he
did I
does,
pick
makes his
this
move.
fucking guy?
So it's like his heart rate's probably going like crazy because the biggest dipshit to rob. But I finally I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be 125. And then he pulls out this 22. And actually, it wasn't a 22, but I don't know the name of it. It was smaller than a 22. Just like a very, very
One of those
small.
tiny guns that like an old lady would
Yeah,
keep in her purse.
Absolutely. Could easily have been a lighter, a cigarette
Yeah.
lighter, you know. And he wanted, so all the money, which was like, you know, $12.95 or whatever. I had some 20s down there, but it wasn't less than $100. But he knew about the drop box by my legs that employees other than non-manager employees don't have keys to, right? So he's holding the gun knowing about all this cash in this box that I don't have access to. And I was like, here's my wallet, all right? Here's every key I have. I want you to have this money. I was like, here's my Suburban key. You know, it's like, I'm not holding anything back for the sake of Target, man, all right? I don't have the key. And as he's pointing a gun at me, and
What was he saying? Was he like cursing?
no, he was like very direct and open the door, you know, open the blah blah blah, you know, like this, very calm, very calm. Because I was tripping. It was like, and then now I know about the money in the drop box below you. I need you to open it right now. As he's pointing the gun right on my chest, and then I was like, okay, here's all this. He didn't take my wallet. He didn't ask for any of the money out of my wallet, which I had about $40, I think.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Oh, shut up. And he said, now turn around. So I'm like turning around. I know he's not going to shoot me in the back, but I'm just thinking like, what? You know, this sucks.
He could shoot you.
What?
Did you piss yourself?
I didn't piss myself, but I walked back And he left, and I went to the front, and I said to the security guard, not where he was when I needed him, we need to talk. and I told him the whole story, and I could have gotten a lot more out of it than I did. I didn't request anything. I got a day off afterwards, and that's it. I didn't want any money. I didn't want to.
Like
they brought me in a couple times to try to identify the guy, and they finally
like
caught
a police
him.
lineup?
Yes. No, pictures. I never did a police lineup. But he had red hair, and I vividly remembered him. So I was like, show me pictures. Yeah, nope. And it was never him. And they caught the guy somehow, no thanks to me, apparently, in, I think at the Tustin Marketplace or something like that. So he was local, but he hit like 6 or 7 targets in the span of about a week.
Wow.
And I was one of them.
Do you think he got any of the drop boxes?
I don't know. I mean, did he just keep trying? Or I wonder if I was the first one.
One day I'm going to get
I wonder if I was like a learning experience for him. Like, okay, don't
it's a lot of
select
work for
water.
12 bucks.
They might, yeah. Oh, it was pathetic. No one shopped at the lawn and garden. Like, you went through the lawn and garden, A, when it was Christmas, or B, when you parked by there and it was the best thoroughfare to get to your car.
Yeah, to bypass the lines.
He got closer to $50 than $100 that day. And if that's worth
Still
drawing
petty,
a firearm on a poor
it's petty
18-year-old
theft,
boy.
but he used the firearm, so then it becomes robbery instead of petty theft.
Oh. Yeah.
So if he would have just taken the $50 and been like, "Hey, give me that,"
Yeah.
without
That's
threatening
better.
you,
Right.
it would have been better for him.
Yeah. Oh, he would have. Yeah. How would I react to that? I'd be like, no. Then he's like,
Please, come on.
I will kick your ass.
And
Okay.
if he said, "I will kick your ass," then
There we go. So
then
he was
it's
just
robbery.
like, please, will you give it to me? And I
Yeah.
would say no. He wouldn't get it from me. No way. I would just hand over money. Tooth and
I don't care.
What's that saying? Tooth and fist?
Hand over fist.
Oh, there you go. Why? I'm thinking teeth because of sharper objects. It's still in my head. You know?
Oh,
The finale really drove me.
yeah. We
up
never
the
talked
wazoo.
about that.
I don't think we have to.
So did you like it?
Dollhouse.
Did you like the finale?
Dollhouse's kitchen floors is teeth. There.
Did you like it?
Loved it. You kidding me?
Yeah, I thought it really came around.
Don't tell Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's kind of cheap in a way to show all that stuff in the end credits?
Yeah, I guess so.
But then
I mean,
they were
I
saying,
almost
like,
missed it because it wasn't like I was like, all right, fine, I'll stay through. I always stay through the end credits. So I thought it was just like, boom, the first, the cast, boom, and then right to this little vignette at the end. And it wasn't. It was like half of the commercials, basically.
Yeah.
And that was the best, most action-packed scene in the entire show.
I know.
That was
They're
the
like-
best part. That was the
Yeah.
best scene of the entire
They're really
show.
just like drag it out, and they're like, hopefully they stayed at the end.
But if they, I mean, I know, it was based on a novel, but it's not the first time they made a sequel. I don't know how successful it was. But
I don't want them to make a sequel.
no shit, dude.
I'm
I'll
all
be
for
like,
the
I'm
Big Little Lies sequel, but not a sequel to Sharp Objects. I've had
man.
enough.
You know who's playing the mom, right? Sarsgaard's mom, Anne Heche.
Meryl Streep.
Oh,
So, should we keep the streak going, or should we break the streak?
do you have something? If you have something worth playing,
something.
but you don't seem too enthused about
It's
it.
not like super great, but I was like, should I look for something
Okay, well, let me jump ahead and just
HH related?
let me just say that there is absolutely nothing HH related about film number 55 of 5,961, The Ringer, starring Terry Funk and the voice of Jesse the Body Ventura. Now, you could connect Jesse Ventura with Hulk Hogan, maybe parlay that, but we're not going to talk about Hulk Hogan at all during our discussion of The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville, 2005. So this is your only chance. If you don't bring it up now, the streak has ended. His watch is ended. So it's on you. I want to hear it.
Get ready for everything you ever wanted to hear, know, and find out about Hulk Hogan, the greatest of all time.
The baby. Okay. Welcome to... He's crying. Now that's a cry. See, that's your fault. That is your fault. You knew I was going to yell.
Oh God!
You brought that out of me. You
I didn't
encouraged
think
me.
you were gonna do that. I'm sorry. You frightened my son worse than Snow White's scary adventure.
I had a couple beers in me. All right, what do you want?
So HH gave an interview to TMZ Sports,
Okay.
and they asked him who would win in their prime, NWO or the Shield. And then he said, "We would murder the bums, brother. We would kill them. We laid the ground rules for taking shortcuts. We laid the ground rules. There is no substitute for victory. I used to wrestle with Roman Reigns' dad. You've seen the pictures of me holding Roman Reigns as a baby. Come on. We taught them almost everything we know." It's just kind of a weird, like, first of all, why would you ask that question? Like, what a dumb question.
It's
and then,
kayfabe,
yeah,
right?
and then get a kayfabe answer.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like, you would kill them.
So we're assuming
You know
this
it's
is,
fake, right?
We're assuming the NWO is Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Just that. This is a 3-on-3 match.
I mean, like, if it was the full strength NWO, that
They would
472
topple.
guys,
They would
like,
topple.
it was,
the Shield.
just the strength and
Right,
numbers.
they would get destroyed.
They would just all stand on top of the Shield, and just like the sheer weight would smother
Yeah.
them.
I would hope they reinforce
Yeah.
the ring for that one.
But, I
there were
mean-
like 79 guys in the NWO, and
You
just
got-
the NWO. Black
you
and white
got
NWO,
Hulk
not the Wolfpack.
Hogan that could barely move. Even then,
Yeah.
you've got Kevin Nash, tall, quad tearing, non-moving son of a bitch, and then you got Scott Hall, who was probably drunk.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell
I'm
you.
sure. I mean, the three members of the Shield are better athletes.
I would say so. At our WrestleMania 31 that I bring up as often as I can, that segment when all the legends came out, all the different factions, you got DX and you got NWO. The NWO coming out was my favorite part, but they did not look very limber. I'd
Oh
say.
yeah, they could barely go
They
down
could
that
barely
ramp.
go down the ramp. It was awesome to see them. I don't know. I think I'm going to give it to the Shield on this one if I had to pick.
Yeah, I mean,
Since there are
the
all
NWO,
current
they're
wrestlers.
definitely more entertaining. I'll give them that much. I got way more pleasure watching the NWO than I ever did watching the Shield.
Yeah, but do you see the Shield as a cheating faction, as Hulk Hogan alluded to? As they were
well-
the innovators of breaking the rules, and
They were
They're just, like,
heels when
tough.
they first broke in.
yeah, I know, but did they try to cheat in innovative ways? I just remember them just pummeling people. If by
Yeah.
cheating you mean 3-on-1, then yeah.
I mean, that's what NWO would do. They would just use the strength and numbers to attack people.
Yeah, but they were more conning, right? More entertaining, definitely. Maybe that's why they were more entertaining.
Yeah. They win the entertainment war. The Shield would win the
War.
athletic,
War.
good-looking war. Speaking of which, did you see that Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement?
Yeah, I
It's
did.
that Saudi Arabia money, man.
Yeah.
They can buy anybody.
Wait, I did hear that, but I don't remember where. Is it going to be at the cricket grounds in Australia? Is that where it is?
So in Australia, The Undertaker and Triple H are having a match, and Shawn Michaels is in Triple H's corner, and Kane, Governor Kane, or Mayor Kane, is in Undertaker's corner.
Oh, what if?
But
what
this-
if they use that? What if they use his mayoral like suit and everything?
They
probably
should.
won't. That would
They
be
should.
great.
That'd be hilarious. But that's gonna set up a tag team match at the next Saudi Arabia event.
Oh, I see.
Apparently, that Greatest Royal Rumble made more money for the WWE than the last WrestleMania.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
They got more money for that. And
so that's a
now
global
it's
phenomenon then. So everyone
now-
outside of the United States went gaga for that.
No.
In Europe.
No, Saudi Arabia, the Prince of Saudi Arabia just gave them a boatload of money to come there.
Oh,
More
there you
money
go.
than
I always
they
go to ratings
made.
because I'm such an idiot.
Yeah, no. It was on the
'cause people were
WWE
watching it.
network.
It's because a lot of people turned out. Did you see those couches around the ringside?
No, they got the
Wow.
Saudi royal
More
family.
than WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Are you kidding
And so
me?
now-
Do you know what the figure? I wonder what that figure.
I think it was like $40 million or something.
God.
And
We will
so now
provide-
they're just unloading the Brinks truck again, so much so that Shawn Michaels, I can't disrespect the Undertaker by coming back.
Hey, I told him I was gonna.
I lost it. Taker, I'm done.
So
That total. This sucks. I'm fine with him being in the corner of Triple H. I'm fine with that. All right, but his retirement speech was so beautiful.
If he's gonna
breathtaking,
have-
it'll ruin it if he comes back.
if he's gonna come back, I'd much rather see him wrestle AJ Styles or Daniel Bryan than be in a tag team match against the Undertaker and
You're
Kane.
pretty good, kid.
I mean, that would be much
The thing
more
is, what's crazy
entertaining.
is that AJ Styles is not like Shawn Michaels is in his 50s. AJ Styles is freaking 42. You know,
Yeah.
it's not that much younger.
But that
He
motherfucker can
moves
move.
like a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Brock Lesnar was supposed to leave, but they're like, oh, we got that Saudi money, baby.
Wow,
And he came back
no way.
for that match.
That's incredible. Are you excited for the Australia event?
Nah.
You're not. How many people do you think will turn out? That place can fit over 110,000 people. The
I don't
cricket
know.
grounds. And it's outdoors. You just don't care about open air events nearly as much
I
as
guess
I do.
I'll watch it, but it's like
It's 110,000.
it's going to be like 4 hours.
Yeah, no. I'll watch.
None of the matches are of any consequence at all.
The thing I do with these open air events, the same thing I did with the Greatest Royal Rumble, which is when you were like, and there weren't any women there. I was like, really? There weren't? It's like, you didn't watch it, did you? Because I stopped watching it when the sun goes down. I just love it when it's daylight.
When there's sun?
So I will watch the pre-show and the first two matches, and that's it.
Man, so then you really did love WrestleMania 31. It
Oh,
was daylight the
whole
entire
ti-
time.
Absolutely. Why do you think I love
But then you said you were nervous about the Undertaker's entrance. You
I
told
was
like,
just drunk
you told
trying to
some
relate
guy.
to the dude
you
in
were
the
like,
urinal
man, I'm
next to
so
me."
nervous,
Yeah.
man. So nervous.
No,
that
that's
he's
not
gonna
how it
come
went.
out during the daylight.
Nope, you remember that incorrectly.
You told some guy that.
No, I said, really looking forward to the Undertaker's entrance. And the guy next to me was like, yeah, it's going to be daylight, though. And I was like, oh, what does that mean?
Didn't you say you were nervous?
I was like, I'm really looking forward to the Undertaker's entrance.
I thought you said you were nervous.
No. So you're
about
thinking
it.
I was like, I'm looking forward to the Undertaker's entrance, but I'm a little nervous that it won't be that cool of a production because the daylight will still be up because they're
That's
on the
what I
West
thought.
Coast. You
I prefer to just imagine
as
that's
like
what
I'm
you
pissing.
said.
I did look, I'm not one to be chatty. So I felt like I wasn't all that drunk on WrestleMania, but that's something I would
We
only
were-
do if I'm
We
drunk.
were just part of a community that day.
Maybe.
man.
Yeah, you're right. We were drunk on like the
On
personal
WrestleMania.
belts or yeah, on WrestleMania with
Oh,
like-minded
no.
people.
37-year-old men walking around with their own championship belts.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So I'm like, yeah, so you're excited about the Undertaker's entrance, right? Yeah, that's probably why. Because we were walking around a lot. We had that damn Bloody Mary that was way too spicy.
Oh, that son
we
of
were
a
only
bitch.
like maybe 2 drinks in before going. And even though we went to that,
No, we had more than 2 drinks. We did a bar hop.
we did a bar hop, so 4 or
yeah,
5.
yeah.
But we were
We
moving.
definitely had like 2 drinks at each bar.
Yeah,
didn't
you're
we?
right. Because we were
Yeah,
there.
it was
that would
3
be
different
impossible
bars.
because we were there for at least 2 hours before.
And then we had drinks at the stadium.
Yeah.
We had beers at the stadium.
We didn't get up and move, though. It was that good of a show. We were planted on our seats the entire... We got food and a beverage, and then we got up to piss maybe once.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were
Is it okay
just-
to talk about WrestleMania 31?
We were just severely dehydrated from sitting in the sun and roasting.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
sure.
God, this is miserable.
Okay, you already introduced.
Film number 55, 5,961. I'd never seen this movie before, and you had. The Ringer,
Yeah.
starring Johnny Knoxville.
I watched it
Well,
again
Terry
today.
Funk.
I watched it at work.
Yeah. It's charming. It's very charming.
I totally forgot that Jesse Ventura did a voiceover at the beginning.
Well, there you go.
You got 2 wrestlers
Got
in
2
here.
wrestlers in here.
He had more of a speaking role than friggin' Terry Funk.
You're the best at what you do.
Oh, the Genius is in it, too. It was charming. Definitely, it had the best components were the characters with actual mental retardation. They were that was just awesome. Those two guys, those lines, like everything that came out of their mouths.
Well,
was
which
just
ones do you
charming.
think are actually special needs, and which ones do you think aren't?
His roommate is obviously
Yes.
there's Down syndrome there.
Yes.
And there's only one other one. I think it was another Down syndrome guy. The guy was like, if you let us go out, you can date my sister.
Yeah,
was
that guy.
The rest are actors.
Yeah.
And I thought they were.
I know the guy
were
Glenn though.
fine.
Glenn, I think,
Yeah.
like he.
I looked him up.
Yeah, he actually can pass
Yeah.
as like a real
Absolutely.
special needs, and the guy with glasses too, maybe a little bit.
It was a little too shticky, but it was still very like. I'm not saying that it was a terrible performance, because that's to play someone with a mental, like, that's tough, because you don't want to be disrespectful, but you don't want to, and it was kind of like stripped down, scaled down.
Yeah.
It was charming.
Jimmy is he's actually full special needs.
Yeah.
Jimmy says, "Kiss my butt."
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jimmy
I
is
didn't think
like
he was.
Jimmy is like the star athlete that Johnny Knoxville needs to defeat.
Mm-hmm.
So the premise of this movie, for those who haven't seen it, Johnny Knoxville is a really nice guy. He gets a promotion at work, and his first duty is to fire the janitor. But he's such a nice guy, he can't bring himself to fire the janitor. So he ends up hiring him to mow his lawn
Yeah.
and pays him like $400 a week.
And
And the guy loses his fingers,
Right.
and so he needs to pay for the operation. And so to do that, he gets in line with his uncle, who decides to
rig the Special
rig
Olympics.
the Special Olympics to beat
'Cause
the
he's in
star
money
athlete
trouble.
Jimmy Washington.
Yeah, because he's in dire
Who-
straits as well. He
who
owes like
is-
50 grand to his bookie.
Yeah, Jimmy Washington, as they say in the movie, is the Deion Sanders of our words.
What? That was in the movie?
Yeah,
What part was
dude, that
that?
guy is the Deion Sanders of retards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Well, I loved the premise, but the way it got there, like the premise of rigging the Special Olympics, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And the love angle, that works, kind of, not really, but
she
like
was a little too forgiving.
she was way too forgiving and just as hollow as a character could get. She was just like, I was mad at first, but now I'm not.
Yeah, it really made me think.
There was
like,
no depth to their romance at all.
Katherine Heigl has been notorious for just like talking shit on the material she's given.
She could have done.
I wonder if she ever said anything about this. I didn't really find
be interesting
anything
because-
because I think this was early on
Because you could have.
before Grey's Anatomy and Knocked
Yeah.
Up.
She's an excellent actress.
But like she did Knocked Up, and then she was like, these female characters are just shrews. They're just shrill and whiny. Even though it was like one of the biggest breaks of her career. And then she talked shit
That's right.
on Grey's Anatomy,
Even though that wasn't.
on the writing in Grey's Anatomy, and they're like, "Fuck this bitch, we're killing her off."
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Why would she? Yeah. Because like this material wasn't great, but she could have done a much. If she would have like slowed it down, like I was furious. Just kind of pause a little bit instead of being all giddy and like I was mad that I found out that you rigged the Special Olympics, but now I got over it.
Yeah.
And why was he all of a sudden a theater director?
Well,
I
because
know
he
was aspirations of being an
he's
actor. but
following his dream that he never.
I could have done with
followed.
it. I could have used a scene where we see that, where he quits his job, or maybe
Yeah.
he still has his job. But
I bet
something
you
would
they
lead into
probably
that.
filmed it, but they were like, "We got to make this movie shorter."
hour and a half, and it doesn't really fit
Yeah.
the tone. It's probably something like that.
Yeah.
But the getting to that great premise, and I'm so glad everything with the mentally challenged, the way they handled that was great.
Do you know what I
Because
love?
it could have been exploitative, and it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't
definitely
at all.
not exploitative at all. In fact, it actually employed 150 people with intellectual disabilities.
Yeah, so that's great.
They all got
And
work.
And they were the smart. They drove the story. They were the only ones that weren't fooled by his gimmick, you know.
Yeah, they were like, you talk different.
Right. And they found out instantly.
Yeah.
And they're a great community too.
But I mean, you could look at like a lot of these people's IMDb pages, and they don't get a lot of work after The Ringer, which kind of proves that like for somebody with a disability, I mean, getting work is tough if you want to be an actor to fill those roles, and that's why they probably like they employ able-bodied people to fill these roles.
Yeah, I
which
know.
is kind of sad.
It is. I would have much rather have had the entire cast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I wonder if they don't do that just because it makes shooting more difficult.
I thought the same thing, because you got to have like those two had the funniest lines, and their delivery was so perfect. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, they had others kind of drive the story more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a necessity, just for time. Yeah, you're right. Like they have to know to keep people on target. You need hired talent.
Yeah. Do you know what was
not to say they're not hired talent as well, but.
Was really great. I downloaded or I rented it on Amazon Prime. They have a feature now that's like pop-up video, but the IMDb page. So like on the side of my laptop, like a little fact from the IMDb page would like show up during a scene, or like the actor's name would show up. You could click on it.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really cool. Like I never knew that this was a feature.
That's awesome.
It made like watching this movie over again
That was almost like
that much better.
Remember Dinner and a Movie? They would do that there too.
Yeah, yeah.
They would like have.
I used to love Dinner and a Movie.
A lot of my
beans
VHS
and cornbread.
Yeah.
Beans and
A
cornbread.
lot of my VHS tapes are from that. Like they just distributed a lot of actual films through that banner of Dinner and a Movie. Was that TNT or TBS?
I think it was TBS.
God, TV was good. Like Monster Vision and that show.
Yeah.
Wasn't one of the guys on The Real World the host of that show?
His name was like Paul Gilmartin.
I think
he has a podcast called like the Mental Health Happy Hour, where he talks to different people about their mental health struggles. I listened to it for a while. It got annoying.
What's your mental health struggle? Mine is OCD, I would say.
OCD?
That's number one. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have OCD?
I think it's yeah.
What are your OCD tendencies?
Lately, it's been shutting things and turning things off.
Really?
High school, it was huge. I had severe, almost debilitating OCD. Like everything in my room had to be perfectly aligned. I went to Washington, D.C. in the 8th grade, and I came back, and my parents completely changed my room all around.
And you
I had a
freaked
panic
out?
attack, and I was in my room the next 6.5 hours rearranging everything how it was.
God
and
damn.
I just completely kind of cured myself. I don't know how, but it just went away. It went away. But I still have like compulsions and like obsessive thoughts, and it's like, leaving my apartment, and this is new. This is recent. I'm like quadruple checking the stove now, and triple checking that the door's locked. So,
Wow.
And at work I do it quite a bit. I quadruple check like almost this is new.
And
this
you
is like
still,
the last 6 months I've been doing this.
forget to pack batteries for the for the recorder.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't care.
Yeah, too bad it can't be for useful things.
No, I mean, okay, fine. It used to be, I would say OCD, and it's always, so it's not extreme, right? Because I'm exaggerating 4 times, but, it's definitely, it's kind of been heightened a little bit lately. I don't know why, if it's stress or what. But anxiety, I guess that's my numero uno, I would say.
Yeah. I think mainly just like mental, like internal conflicts, like revisiting things from when I was like 13 and be like, oh, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I did that, you piece of shit.
It still
Why
bothers
would
you,
you
right?
do that?
Because in
it's
the
just
moment.
like, and it's like, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It was so long ago.
Yeah.
It would affect nothing. The people involved probably don't even remember.
No way.
You don't even interact with those people, but you still revisit it over and over and over and over and over again.
Because when it happened, when you experienced it, in that moment, you were telling yourself, my life will never be the same. Like, my life is over.
Yeah.
I struck out in softball in the 4th grade in front of everybody. And I was like, that's it. I mean, I'm done.
It's downhill from
I'm
here.
done. That's it. And I still think about it, and it's like, it kind of puts me there. But who the hell's thinking about that other than
It's
you?
totally
ever?
irrational.
Yeah. But that's self-preservation also. If you're like, oh, I did that, so now
I
as an
won't
adult,
do it
I will
again?
never do that again.
Yeah,
and I need
but
to punish myself so I don't ever do it again. It needs to feel
but
bad.
it's not.
Because if you do it again, you're going to feel bad again.
At a certain point, you need to let it go.
Why?
Because you can't live your life beating yourself up over something that's relatively insignificant at this point.
Okay, well, I know you very well, and I can tell you, you're not beating yourself up. Beating yourself up, you'd be like, oh, like
no, but
it
I'll
would
be
affect
driving
your
and
life.
I'll be like, oh, motherfucker, fuck that shit. I can't
Yeah.
believe I did that. Like, I'll actually like think about, because I
Yeah.
I commute
right.
every day.
A lot of that's driving,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know,
I need to
driving, you're just
stop
all
driving.
alone. You're just staring at life coming at you at 80 miles an hour. It's like you get crappy
Yeah.
thoughts sometimes.
Yep. Well, anyway, this movie, we went from dinner and a movie to mental health
Yeah, I guess
struggles.
so. Yeah, because thanks
What an
to
it-
the art of the podcast.
I
I like the scene where they're training to be mentally ill, and they got a stack of tapes, and it's Forrest Gump, I Am Sam, and the best of Chevy Chase collection.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Imagine if Sean Penn was the star of this movie. I was
Yeah.
thinking that, like, as his Sam character, that'd be something.
Oh, it'd be a highbrow. It would be
Yeah.
a totally different movie. What'd you think of Johnny Knoxville's portrayal?
I like Johnny Knoxville,
Me too.
but he wasn't doing a good enough job.
Really?
Some
it's a
of
tough
his
job.
Some of his characters that he was doing when he was trying to find his character
We're better.
were better.
Yeah, I agree. In the mirror, yeah.
Yeah. Like, at least more believable.
But his
Because he
real-
kept, like, falling in and out of his Jeffy character.
Yeah, and his Jeffy character and his real persona were kind of similar.
Yeah.
Like, so he should have really, because
Yeah.
he doesn't act
And
he
he
doesn't
just
act like that
kinda-
in interviews. He acted
Yeah.
in the beginning of the movie, he acted like an idiot. Why would he, like, what fool, because he's too much of a coward to fire the janitor, would hire him for $500 a week to mow his apartment complex's lawn?
Yeah.
Like, that's irrational behavior.
he's
right there.
already
he
got
cannot
problems.
afford that. So like the jump, all he did was really just kind of tilt
Yeah.
his neck to the side a little bit,
And
but it wasn't
and then
overdone.
He speaks about himself in the third
Yeah.
person, which does that happen very? I don't.
I just
feel,
appreciate-
I feel like that's kind of a weird choice.
I just appreciate that it wasn't overdone
yeah.
throughout.
I love Brian Cox in this movie. I feel
Perfect.
like he is an older version of Matt Dillon's character in There's Something About Mary.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that he just does a lot of these kind of roles. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll do that. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't say no.
He's a
to
great actor.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he's
him
willing.
in Adaptation as
Oh my
the
God.
acting teacher or the writing teacher.
Yeah, as oh God.
And
the guy that wrote Story, what the hell's his name? Anyway,
I
based
forget.
on that guy.
And
Out of sight, out
the
of mind.
line where he's like, "Oh yeah, I help him play with his puppets.
Yeah.
I teach him how to play with his puppets."
And he
You
wasn't.
ever seen what's his diagnosis? Well, you should see him try to eat a watermelon.
It's like, come on, man, do your homework. Like, this is a huge deal, and you don't even have a term for what he was diagnosed with. And he's a little slow. Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy Washington kind of reminded me of Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah, he did. Was he an actual?
He kind of looks like him a little
Well,
bit.
he had the same like
Body.
mojo and person like I don't know. I mean, flamboyance. I guess I wanted to say narcissist, but Shadow Ochocinco is God. He was awesome. Remember that Hard Knocks on the Bengals? He was just like,
Yeah, and it was like, oh, he's like talked such a big game, but he's not really that good.
he had a mediocre year. Well, he was coming off of his best year, I think.
His best year got him what?
What was that saying he had? It was like, fuck, it was like fuck you or something, but it was his own little take on it.
Oh, I can't
Remember
remember.
that? I'm not making that up, right?
I know he had.
It's like, catch me outside. How about that? But it was
I can't remember.
It was like 2 words. It was 2
Yeah.
words. It was like,
Damn.
that's dumb. It meant like, F you.
Chad Ocho.
What was the saying?
Cinco.
Because it was all over Hard Knocks, man.
Catchphrase.
But it's on the tip of my tongue. I can think of it, man. You don't have to look it up. Catch me outside.
Child, please.
Child, please.
And kiss the baby.
Oh, man.
That was one.
You know what? I hope Victor is listening to this and going, child, please, you idiot, Scott. Say it. We're a couple of nudnicks, man. What do you rate this movie?
I mean, that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, I guess it was. That was like 2008.
Yeah, his career is long over.
us some slack,
he even
man.
changed
Cut us
his
some
name
slack.
back to Chad
Chad
Johnson,
Johnson,
after that. So, I mean, well, before I rate it, I wanted to talk about the guy that plays Winston.
Yeah.
That guy is married to Christina Hendricks, and I can never, I think about that all the time. Like, Christina Hendricks, to me, is the perfect woman. It's everything that I love.
Yeah, well, you like voluptuous.
She's got
Remember
big,
her in
big titties,
in
big
Drive?
ass. Yeah.
How
red
is
hair. That guy
No way.
is married to her. So he must, just be really funny or have a great personality, because
Wait a minute, which
I can't
one-
even imagine them in the act of intercourse.
I had no idea which one. Okay, yeah. So that guy. Well, he's got the he's a successful actor. We've seen him in a million things.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because she's like a scrawny, like nerdy dude, not unattractive by any means.
Yeah.
And she is the most beautiful woman on this planet.
Definitely.
Even like Don Draper was like, I wouldn't stand a chance. Like, she's above me.
Yeah. That I
That's
just need to
shocking, actually.
I need to take that
What a
guy out to
He
lunch.
must be. I want to see this
talk
guy.
to him.
He must be the most amazing person.
Yeah.
He must have the most incredible, engaging,
I certainly
enigmatic
hope
personality.
So. I hope they never break up.
Yeah.
Really.
Here. Wow.
He had the line of the movie.
The Jaws
I
line.
mean, no, the line where he says, "When the fuck did we get ice cream?"
Yeah.
You could see Johnny Knoxville is trying to stop himself from breaking.
Oh,
and
right,
I
I
looked it
didn't
up.
know
It
this.
was actually an impromptu line.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But there's an art to sneaking in a fuck in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. How many you get? You get like one
You
or
get
two.
like one,
Yeah.
maybe two max.
Shits are wide open these days.
Yeah, shits. Yeah, you can have as many shits, but
You can have
fucks.
breasts.
You can't say fuck me,
Right.
but you can say what the fuck
Yeah.
at least one time in a PG-13 movie.
Fifth Element, breasts,
Oh, yeah.
PG-13.
Yeah, I
Mia
think
Jovovich. You can do like one.
Titanic.
But it was in the background and she was changing
Yeah.
real quick. Titanic was
Titanic.
art
Yeah,
and she was posing for a picture, right?
yeah,
You can't get more artsy fartsy than that.
yeah.
Christina Hendricks. Is it Renee Hendricks? Is an American actress and model.
So I'd give this film a 7.9.
Whoa, that's geez, it's not that good.
I just
Yeah, no.
I'd like the spirit of this movie.
I do too.
like what it does for people. I'd like that it's not mean-spirited.
Mhm.
I like that it's empowering
Mhm.
of special needs people. I like that it doesn't.
The story was rushed.
It was, yeah, it's a little rushed, but I like what this movie represents.
Me too.
I like that it doesn't treat the subject with kid gloves. It's not like, oh, we we can't even, bother to even exploit them in this way. It's more like we'll involve them in this story. They're people just like anybody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an empowering, good movie.
Well, that beautiful monologue just bumped up my score to a 7.4.
Roger Ebert gave this film a 3 out of 4 stars, stating, "The movie surprised me. It treats its disabled characters with affection and respect, and it's actually kind of sweet."
I could see Ebert liking this movie. Siskel, not so much.
Well, Siskel is long dead.
I know, I'm just saying.
Well,
Could you imagine them reviewing this? He would be like, no, it's stupid.
Siskel,
it's stupid.
Siskel and Ebert have long been supporters of the Farrelly brothers. I remember they each had Kingpin in like their top 10 movies of the year.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was like, dang. And that's when I was like, man, I really like Siskel and
They
Ebert.
understand comedy because that movie's hilarious.
Yeah. This film got a blessing by the Special Olympics, the actual Special Olympics.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And Edward Barbanel, Johnny Knoxville's roommate in the movie, the actual Down syndrome kid, they actually became close friends.
Oh, that's...
And you can see him in a lot of like... in the background in a lot of shots from the Jackass movies.
Oh, okay.
He was on
10,
set.
10.0 then. Like that. All right, fine. 7.6.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
In this movie, I don't know if you would include this guy in the wrestler category, but the director of this film, Barry Blaustein, is the director, writer, and producer of Beyond the Mat.
Wow. There you go.
And he's the
That's a hell of
star,
a-
too, because he's the narrator.
It's a hell of a connection there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's where we get our Terry Funk.
Who was
didn't say a word,
Let him
but-
in, didn't
yeah.
say a word.
But he was
just
a big
muscle.
part of Beyond the Mat.
Yeah. Wow. There you
Yeah.
go. That's why. Because he didn't have one line. Yeah.
His
What'd you think of
guns
his
looked pretty
performance?
good, though. I mean, he looked like a
He
hired...
did what he was hired to do.
Yeah, just about as good as he did in Roadhouse.
Are we gonna flick chart or are we gonna call it a night?
Oh, flick chart.
We don't have to.
No, I'll pull it up.
All right.
We gotta. You always remind me about flick charting.
It's
Thank you.
well, of course I do. It's my favorite game.
Thank you for reminding me.
Well, I mean, I know it's probably ranked pretty low.
Let's see if this flick chart can outlast my battery.
Okay.
I'm at 4% here.
Oh, that's funny, man. We're running on fumes because this recorder is on 1 bar.
Oh,
Crank it
damn.
out.
Okay. Flick chart's like the slowest website
Ah,
on the internet.
God. Damn you, flick chart. Come on. We need you here. We got like 30 seconds.
Okay. It's presently 520 on my flick chart.
Yeah, we
Let's
got to get that
re-rank it.
higher, man. Come on.
Is it better than An American Tail?
No. Okay, Five Goes West is better. American Tail, come on.
Yeah, American Tail has a
This
beautiful
is an
song.
important-
Somewhere out there
beneath the pale moon.
Is it better than Lucky Number 11? Yes.
Yes. F that movie.
Hot Shots Part 2.
Sorry. Hell no. Hot Shots Part all the
Yeah.
way. Not even close.
Stop!
Or my mom will shoot. The Ringer.
The Ringer.
Oh, wait a minute, though. Okay, yeah. The
Halloween H2O.
Ringer.
The
Okay.
Ringer.
Jamie Lee Curtis gets a little bit of revenge action 20 years after the original
Hangover
Haddonfield murders. The
Part
Ringer.
3. The Ringer.
The Ringer.
Get Out.
Get out. Get out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Get Out.
come on.
I just can't believe Get Out was so low on the list. I got to re-rank that.
Yeah, for sure.
Dan in Real Life.
Get.
Kind of a sucker for Dan in Real Life.
I'm going Ringer.
Dan in Real Life kind of made me cry.
Okay. Well, so did The Ringer.
I didn't cry during The Ringer.
Well, the fact that he's has a relationship. and
Forever
friendship with-
Young with Mel Gibson.
Oh, the Mel Gibson
where he's
one.
like frozen.
Yeah.
The Ringer.
The Ringer. F that movie.
Before Sunrise.
Oh,
And you hate
God.
these movies.
I know what I'm picking. I know what you're picking. Move on.
I'd pick The Ringer.
Really?
Before Sunrise was the first one, and it's not as good as Before Sunset and
am
Before
shocked.
Midnight. Before Sunset and Before Midnight are far superior to Before
Okay,
Sunrise.
but
Before Sunrise is more 90s rom-com.
Yeah.
They didn't really find.
And all it is just talking about, yeah,
I like
didn't know
talking.
that.
I like movies
If I was
where
on the
people
same
talk.
train as those two losers, I'd tell them to get off the fucking bus. Or wait, if I was on the same bus. Okay, wait.
You wouldn't be on the same train as
I
them
would be
because
like,
you don't.
two
you don't,
shut up.
You wouldn't be there because you don't go places and you don't do things and you don't have fun and experience.
Okay, the battery is getting pretty low here.
Well, it went down to 850. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Well, it was paired with some good movies, man. We didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me pick from the urn
Oh,
here.
I'd say it came through for us this episode.
thank
So we
God,
got to let's start
finally.
a streak. Start another streak here.
right.
Or let's start our first streak. We've never had two good movies in a row, I feel like.
This is a long one. Oh, man. Well, another streak continues.
Yeah.
The next film we are watching is Three Ninjas, High Noon on Mega Mountain,
my
starring
God.
Hulk Hogan.
The streak is alive.
Jesus H. Christ.
This is starting to get supernatural here. The Urn, I believe. I've always been a believer, but now I'm going to vocally say
The Urn is a huge mark for Hulk Hogan.
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, I'm going to stain the mat cover in Boston a blood red. A blood red.
I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. I'm going to show you people what it's like to be a real Florida cracker.